Today we're going to be working on this GE profile dishwasher. The model number, it's on the display. Welcome to DIY Repair Now. Read all the warnings, and during this video you will see one or more of these icons to help you do this repair safe. The complaint that we have with this dishwasher is that it's not washing the dishes, or it's leaving spots on the glasses and the dishes as well. So we're gonna begin by removing the bottom panel and check things out. We have two 1/4 screws that are holding the bottom panel. There we go. But right now I can see that the soap is just sitting there. It looks like it opens the soap compartment and the soap just drops, but it doesn't dissolve. So that's an indication that it's not getting enough water. So we're gonna go ahead and start troubleshooting and trying to find out why it's not getting enough water to dissolve the soap and wash the dishes. As you can see, I turn it on and water came in, but I don't see enough water to be able to spray the water to the propellers. As you can see, as you can hear, as you see, they're not even spinning. I don't see any water sitting there, so it's just very little bit of water. Again, that's an indication that it's not getting enough water. So at this point, it's either the water valve for the water supply to the dishwasher, which that's attached to the plumbing on the house, or the actual water valve on the dishwasher itself. So I'm gonna go ahead and cancel this setting because I put it on normal wash to be able to make it run. So now I just cancel that normal wash setting and it's already draining. Now I'm removing the two 1/4 screws that are holding this bottom panel. Again, they are 1/4 screws. Once you remove the screws, the panel comes right out, and just move it to the side. Now we're gonna go ahead and disconnect. This is the flow switch, and I'm just disconnecting this because it's on my way. It's just on the way, so just disconnect it to be able to access to the water valve. I'm trying to wiggle that harness. That's the two terminal connection that goes to the water valve, but it just does not want to come out. Sometimes those wire nuts, those wire terminals brings like a locking tab on the terminals, so sometimes it's not going to be easy to disconnect the that connector from the water valve, but we're going to deal with it in a minute. Now what I'm going to do is go to this side and just see if there's anything preventing water from coming into the dishwasher. It looked like the water supplies hose for the dishwasher. Both of the hoses are, freely, nothing is kink or anything. We're gonna remove the two 5/16 screws, and then we're gonna remove that clamp in the back. But first, what we're gonna do is close the water valve. That way we don't have, as you see, I was having a lot of trouble closing this water valve and open this water valve. So I'm gonna tell you what I use. This is what I use to do this repair. As you see on the picture, water hose clamps, crazy wrench, and channel locks. Now, because that water valve was hard to open and close, I'm just not gonna mess with it. I'm just gonna go ahead and put this water hose clamp to prevent the water to go into the dishwasher, and I'm gonna leave you If you don't have the water hose clamp, you could just kink the water hose and put like a zip tie as you see in this video. And I'm gonna go ahead and leave you with a little bit of the original sound the day that I was recording this job, this repair. So in that video I explain it.
The reason why I put the water hose clippers here is because sometimes this water valve is the only problem that you have, but if you start closing and opening, the water valve can go bad while you do that, because if you close it, it might not open back again, or if you open it, it might not don't close back again. So by me putting this over here and this connecting over there, I know for sure that this valve is good or bad. So let's say if I put these clippers here and then I disconnect over there and I open and I got good water pressure, I know the water valve is on the open position and the water valve is fine. After that I can close it, but again, if I have this water hose clamps or clippers, however you want to call it, there, I don't want to mess with this water valve because it was really hard to close and open from the beginning. So I don't want to mess with this, because this, by me closing and opening, it might start another issue besides whatever I already have over there. I guess you guys get the idea of what I'm trying to say, because most of the time, like a few days ago, I went to dishwasher that it was doing the same thing, but it was a Frigidaire. This is a GE profile, and I replaced the water valve thinking that it was the water valve, and it ended up being the water valve for the water supply. So then I had to replace the water valve, or mine was an issue with the existing water valve for the dishwasher, but the water valve from the house was bad as well. So this way, by me putting this over here, I don't mess with this, and I'm gonna know for sure if I'm getting enough water pressure. So now I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect the water valve, then I'm gonna go ahead and take these clippers off, and then I'm gonna see if I have water pressure or not.
That was the original audio the day of the repair. I was just trying to explain to you guys on the spot what was going on. This is the harness for the flow switch. Remember, I disconnected earlier in this video. So just disconnect the wire harness from the flow switch to get it out of the way. Then remove the two 5/16 screws, and next we're going to remove that back clamp for the water supply that goes to the tub. Now you can use your drill or use a screwdriver to remove this 5/16 screws. At this point I'm using the drill, but it's a little bit of an angle, so if it's difficult to you, just go ahead and use your screwdriver. Now go ahead and reach in the clamp and the back, and I'm using my long needle nose pliers because it's easier to be able to put that clamp all the way to the back. But if you got regular needle nose pliers, that will work as well. It's just gonna be a little bit more difficult. Now, as you see, I'm still struggling with this terminal wires for the water valve, and you just wiggle it and pull it out. As you see, the water hose is already coming loose. Always be prepared for water to spill down. As you saw that right there, that wire harness, that wire terminals already off. And now I'm gonna go ahead and grab my needle nose pliers to be able to remove the rubber hose. This rubber hose is the one that's coming from the dishwasher tub, and the bottom silver one is the water supplies hose that you see me trying to close in underneath the sink. The way you remove this hose is just wiggle it up and down, because sometimes if you just push it back, it's just not gonna come out. Just up and down until it comes off. Always wear gloves, because all those metal pieces are sharp edges. I'm not wearing any gloves because I do this every day. I'm trying to be careful, but I suggest you to use gloves for any appliance repair because appliance always got sharp edges. Now I'm going to go ahead and remove my water hose clamps from here and just move it close to the water rod. I've just put it there in case something goes wrong. I don't want water all over the house. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and put it right here close to the water valve. Now there's no water going into the water valve because I already pinched and put my water hose clippers or water. I just call it clippers, but they might be clamps or I don't know. So just grab adjustable tools. I believe this is a 1/2 inch nut, but you can just grab a crescent wrench and remove the water hose. You see no water coming out. Now we're gonna grab a container. Again, be prepared for water to spill out. I got the little rack there, but if you got a lot of pressure, you might need a bigger towel. And we're gonna check right now. We're gonna remove this, and as you can see, I'm getting enough water pressure, so that means the water valve on the underneath the sink for the dishwasher is fine because I have enough pressure. I was trying to be prepared for water to spill out, and I still made a mess, but you know, just grab a piece of rag and dry it out. That should be fine. Now we're gonna go ahead and see the new water valve because I done this repair before, and it looks like we're gonna have to switch one piece from the old water valve to the new one. And as far as I can see, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and replace this part and put it on the new one because the new one does not bring this piece. They should have put this piece on the new part because it's very rare that it will have a different attachment. So we're gonna go ahead and deal with that. Remember, you can just clean it to it. There's a couple pieces of kind of ceramic thing that came out from the old water valve. Maybe yours is just clogged, but we cannot take any chances, so we're gonna go ahead and remove this piece and install the new water valve, because if we install the new water valve, we can give some kind of warranty to the customer. But if you guys doing this repair for yourself, you can try just to clean it up. If you remove the water valve and it's debris coming out or pieces of glass or dirt or whatever, just go ahead and clean it out and try to put it back again, and maybe that solves your problem. But in our case, just to be on the safe side, we're just gonna go ahead and put a new one. This is very inexpensive anyways. I think you can get it on Amazon for like $20-30, so it's worth it to put the new water valve just to be on the safe side. As you can see, just twist it counterclockwise. And now we're gonna go ahead some Teflon tape and put it on this piece. Remove the Teflon from the old piece. Remove the old Teflon from this piece, and you know, sometimes it's kind of hard to get this Teflon tape, but just, you know, be patient and deal with it. Now we're gonna go ahead and put the Teflon where it was, brand new Teflon. Just go around 5 times, between 4 and 5 times. That should do it. And I'm gonna go ahead and explain to you in a little bit, guys. Just put Teflon tape where
Let me explain to you something, guys.
I'm gonna go ahead and leave it with a little bit of original audio.
Metal to metal, or bronze to bronze, or copper to copper, you don't need Teflon. But if you're gonna connect water hose that has a rubber gasket here, you don't need Teflon on that side. Just to be clear.
Yeah, as I was saying there with a little bit of the original audio, is that if you are connecting a metal to metal piece, copper to copper, bronze to bronze, whatever is metal, any kind of metal, will need Teflon tape, or they sell some kind of paste that is for plumbing. I don't like that paste because it gets everywhere. I like to use Teflon tape. That's the old school, and it always work. But you can use anything that will do this trick. Now remember, always remember where in what position this piece was, and I will show you in a little bit that this piece just needed to be on the on this direction. As you see in this picture, they both have to be pointing to the same direction. So just twist it until you get it in the same direction. And now we're going to go ahead and install the water valve back in place. Make sure those terminals are even too, because sometimes, because GE just put them in a simple bag, they get twisted. This is the piece that goes to the rubber hose, the rubber hose that goes to that hole right there, to this tub. Just trying to explain to you guys, that's where this piece goes to that water supply hole to the tub. Now we're installing the water supply hose, the silver one, which is a stainless steel water hose. And try not to over tighten it too. Once you feel tension, just go about one or twice. Just twist it one or two times more, but try not to over tighten it, because you can damage that gasket, then it's going to be leaking as well. Now we're going to go ahead and get underneath. I'm adjusting the camera just to have a good view. And we're going to go ahead and fish in the new water valve. And we're going to go ahead and just redo everything that we done earlier when we was remove it. I just connect that rubber hose, as you can see, where it should be. And now I'm using my long needle nose. Again, you can use a regular needle nose. It's just that I'm using this to have a better view for you guys. And put the clamp where it should be. Just make sure it sits in place that way it should, because sometimes if that clamp is crooked, it will leak there. That doesn't mean the rubber hose is bad or something is wrong. It's just that that clamp needs to be adjusted. Now over here, you're gonna go ahead and put one screw at a time, but don't tighten all the way the first screw, because the other screw hole will be out of place. Just put it enough to hold it, but don't tighten it all the way, because as you can see, then you're not going to be able to put the other hole lined up. So I had to get the other screw kind of loose to be able to put the last screw on it. This is the little complications that I had, that I'm just leaving it on the video, guys, because I don't want you guys to make the same mistakes. So you can see now that I got the other screw loose, I'm able to line this one up, and I'm trying to do this with one hand, so that's why it's kind of difficult. I'm gonna go ahead and use my two hands and go ahead and lift with one hand that piece all the way up. That way I align the hole to be able to screw in this piece, this screw. Now again, I'm using my drill, and it's kind of difficult because it's an angle, but you can use a regular screwdriver. Remember, this is a 5/16, or get one of those screwdrivers that are like 5-in-1 or whatever. So you see I'm using, they call it like torpedo, or you can use one of these 45 angles drill attachment to be able to tighten the screw. I'm gonna go ahead and show you. This is the 45 angle screw bit that I'm using to be able to tighten those screws really nice. And I'm gonna go ahead and connect the wire harness, wire terminals into the water valve. Went right in there. Gonna give me a hard time at the beginning of the video. And over here, I'm gonna go ahead and connect the flow switch, which, remember, this wire was just in our way, so we just remove it. But remember to plug in this water flow switch in place, because otherwise the dishwasher will not work. Once we got that, we got water already on the dishwasher, we're gonna go ahead and put our normal setting and start cycle. Now I already can hear water going in. Just make sure nothing is leaking. It's already water going into the tub, so if it would be a leak, you would be able to see it already. Just keep an eye as you see water coming in the way it's supposed to now. And now you can even see water sitting on the bottom of the dishwasher, and when I open, you can hear and feel the blades spinning, because now is enough water to wash the dishes. There we go. At this point, we're pretty much done. Just, go ahead and put the bottom panel and put everything back the way it's supposed to. I leave the cycle on just to, keep opening, make sure it's gonna work fine before I take off. But I already know at this point that this repair is a success because it's doing what it's supposed to. Now I can hear that it already went to a part of the setting where it's draining and then it gets water in again. So now we're gonna open. As you see, we got water. Thanks for watching.